Okay, welcome, beautiful light beings, to Crystalline Ascension's Divine Light Illuminators. I'm Alicia Lucas Hall, and I'll be co-facilitating the sharings with Eva Lucas. Eva and I are co-creatrixes of Crystalline Ascension and known as evolution guides to assist, support, and empower souls and starseeds to embody their true divine essences, ascension journeys, and the evolution of unity consciousness to co-create our heaven on earth. We are here to connect you with fellow Star Brothers and Sisters who are sharing their divine light and essence. We will be hearing about who they are, their mission, purpose, and vision, and what divine offerings they can offer you and humanity.
Welcome. Today we welcome Grandmother Songbird, who is a star sister, a mother, sister, grandmother, great-grandmother, medium, Reiki master, and past life regressionist. Welcome, Grandmother Songbird. We are so honored to have you here with us today.
Thank you for inviting me. The honor is mine.
Wonderful. So we'd like to start off, and would you like to share with us your journey in becoming a Reiki master, a medium, a past life regressionist?
I certainly would. My journey actually began in 1992 when I went for a Reiki treatment because I just wanted to promote the girl, didn't know what it was, and found that it was at a very stressful time in my life, found it was an easy way for me to relax. And I had had 2 or 3 treatments, and I was very restless one day, and she asked me, would I like her to take me on a journey? And I said, sure, not really knowing what I was agreeing to there. And I had the most beautiful vision where, although I didn't realize it then, I actually met my spirit guides. And that vision stayed with me over the past 30 years. And I said, okay, I want to do this. So I took my Reiki wand and then never did anything with it. And then at 48 years old, I had severe asthma, difficulty breathing, suffering from depression. And I asked Creator to show me something that would help me heal and be a better person. And I met my Sifu, George Picard, and through taking my grandchildren for karate. And he said to me, Angela, you need to do Qigong. And I watched them all float around and thought that he was utterly crazy because I had no balance and certainly no coordination. But I started to do it and found I felt better. So I told him, it doesn't matter whether I get it or not. I'm like, you're stuck with me. I'm here. And that was 21 years ago. I'm now a 6th level instructor. And it's one of the things where I feel as if I'm certainly at the front of the queue spiritually. And through that, I still continued to have the occasional Reiki treatment, but I got into different modalities of energy healing, and then decided that, you know what, I'm going to take my Reiki. So I took Reiki 1 and then 2, and found that while I was doing my treatment, Spirit was coming through with messages. So I would always ask my client if they wanted the message. And then I went for a past life regression, and the facilitator, Karen Smith, said to me, oh, I'm so glad you came, Angela. Spirit have a message for you, a question for you. She said, they want to know why you're not doing readings. And I said to her, no, I'm more into the healing. I don't do readings. And she said, oh, well, they're telling me for you to think of a reading as a healing with words. And that was very, very powerful for me. So in my meditation, which I was, and although I'm only at the moment probably meditating once a day, I probably shouldn't say that, but I was meditating 2 and 3 times a day, and I asked them to show me what it was that they wanted for me. And one of the biggest lessons that I learned in everything is you just have to trust when you work with spirit. I took all kinds of classes. I took tarot card classes, mediumship classes, and I always left feeling so frustrated because people were saying, you know, they could smell this, they could do this, and there was no thought process for me. And one day I thought, you know what, I'm just going to trust spirit. And I said that to them. When I opened my angel cards, this is your cue to come through. I'm not questioning it anymore. And she had said that to me on the Tuesday. I booked my first party on Friday. And I said that I would do 1,000 readings at $20, which I did very, very quickly. And I have never looked back. I trust spirit. Sometimes they come through and ask me to do stuff. And I'll say, you know, like, oh, you're kidding, right? No, I don't want to do that. And I've learned not to bother. And I'll give you an experience, an example there. I made this beautiful drum, and I was so proud of it. And I asked an Indigenous friend of mine, Kim Raven, to paint on my drum my spirit animal. And she painted the tree of life, a dream catcher, the crows were on there. It was absolutely amazing. And every time I went to a drum circle and I'd take my drum out, everybody would say, oh my gosh, look at grandmother's Songbird's drum. And, you know, my little chest would inflate there. And I was so proud of my drum. And here we are at a sacred fire. And spirit said to me, Grandmother Songbird, you need to gift that drum. And I said, oh, no, you're kidding, right? I love it. No, you need to gift it. And I went, oh, okay. But then I won't have one. That's okay. Go and gift that drum. I said, who do you want me to gift it to? So they said, you see that girl over there? And I said, yeah, go and gift it to her. So I said to my friend who I was with, oh my gosh, spirit are asking me to gift my drum. She's like, oh no, not your drum. Everybody knows it's your drum. I said, oh, well, if they want me to give it away, I'll give it away. So I walked around the fire and I approached the girl that they told me. And I asked her, I said, I wondered if you would accept this drum with love and peace, because spirit are telling me that you need it more than I do. And it was a very emotional moment for both of us. And I'm hugging my drum. And what I actually realized was I'd lost the true meaning of the drum. Because when we play our drum and we sing, it doesn't matter what we sound like. It's about our connection to Creator. And my drum had become a status symbol. And that's why they asked me to give it away. So I gave it away, and it's doing its power and its magic with the person it was gifted to. They told me to find a keeper for my big drum, Grandmother Moonlight and Grandfather Freedom, and then showed me where they were to go. And here we are at the next drum circle. And I realized that I was drumless. I had gifted the drums like they asked. But then I actually, a young boy of 10 years old, who is an absolute treasure of my heart, his mom was going to make me a drum. And he said, no, I'm going to give Grandmother Songbird my first drum. So this drum, when I play it, really speaks from my heart and allows me to be my authentic self without my ego getting in the way. So it's just about listening to spirit and following your heart. Because if we're following our heart and working from our heart with love, then we can't do it wrong. I honestly believe that. You know, we might not do it exactly as it should be or as we've been taught, but Creator and Spirit, our angels, I'll come in and guide us, so long as we're working from our heart center. So for anybody that's just starting on their journey, I think we'd start off calling it like follow your gut, follow your instinct. Ask your heart, what does it feel like? Does that feel right for me? And if the answer is yes, then go for it. I do believe that we're all gifted. It's whether we choose to honor and respect and use our gifts.
That was beautiful.
Yes,
Really
thank
does.
you
And
so
that's
much.
that's one of the things I so admire about you is your trust in spirit. There's a lot of times where I'm doubting and I go, no, I have to step into Angela. Angela trusts spirit. So it's always about trusting. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll share with you, like when I do my readings, I have no thought process whatsoever. Nothing comes into my mind and then out of my mouth where I can temper it. I have to trust that the messages they give me, come out exactly as they're supposed to do. And sometimes I pause and I know that they're just downloading the next lot of what I'm going to say. And yeah, it's all about trust, and it's about honor and respect, honoring our teachers, our guides, honoring creator. All those things are so important. And if people remember those things, their gifts will become tenfold.
Beautiful.
Definitely agree. Thank you so much. As a fellow star sister, I would love to know more about your mission, your purpose, and your vision that you have.
Well, my mission is always to be kind and to work from my heart. But my vision, over the years, I've kind of set goals for myself, and often I'll take classes and then I'll go, okay, Angela, you just wasted some money there. That's okay. I always see it through and take my certification, but sometimes don't use it. And actually, I was just looking, I could probably list 20 things at a bat of an eyelash that I'm certified in, but just didn't seem to sit right with me. So, and why, I don't know, but I think that for my mission and my vision for the future is that as a grandmother, is to teach the children. Our children are our future, and I do believe that the star nations and other galaxies are sending these special children to Earth to help us heal. And Alicia, I have to refer this back to you because you have 4 beautiful starseed children that really walk the talk. And it's so wonderful to see it in children so young. And just before COVID started, I had actually, with the guidance of Spirit, put some classes together to start and teach our children. So I've set myself a goal for this, that as soon as I can start my classes, in the first year, I have set a goal to teach 100 children. Okay. And to teach them things like some of the basic things, to honor and respect the medicines, to know what they're using them for, to acknowledge that they can see auras in other people, healing modalities such as Reiki 1, Reiki 1 is about healing yourself. And I would encourage the children to use that Reiki energy to heal Mother Earth. Okay, so they can set their intentions when they're going for a walk in nature, and to teach them some of the basic things there. Like if we're going into the forest, to stop at the first tree, ask for permission to walk, offer sacred tobacco to the tree or cornmeal if they don't have it, and ask for permission to walk there. And what happens is, if you're given permission, that tree lets all the other trees know that you're coming. Those trees are talking to the animals and to Mother Earth. And as we journey through the forest, they'll make sure we see the things that we're supposed to see, which is part of our journey. The other thing is about using the medicines. The 4 sacred medicines are sage, sweetgrass, cedar, and tobacco. Sage we use to clear away negative energies from ourselves and from other people. Sweetgrass, she's braided like the hair of Mother Earth. And this is why you see the beautiful indigenous people will always braid their hair to represent the earth. Tobacco is what we offer to Creator, to Mother Earth. So there's different teachings for everyone. Sage is the medicine the young ladies would use when their moon cycle is coming. They offer sage to Grandmother Moonlight and ask her to go easy on them through this time of cleansing in their bodies. So just to learn some of those basic teachings, I think is very important. And yeah, so I am an Aqualead practitioner, although I don't teach in the area, but part of one of the class courses that I put together for the children was to bring different people in to teach them different modalities. Aqualead is about healing the water. Okay, so we are 70% water. So sometimes I mix my Aqualead and my Reiki and use both the symbols to make the healing more powerful. So I think that that is my goal and my mission, is to teach the children, to share my wisdom with them, and so that we're all doing I would consider this not only an honor, but empowering to think that I've spent 30 years learning, and now here's an opportunity for me to give back by sharing that wisdom with the children so that they can in turn share it with their children and go about and do healing. Even if they don't consciously become healers or mediums, they still have those modalities and that basic goodness of healing in their heart as they're operating in whatever field it is that they choose to do. Yes.
Yes, that is so beautiful. Your wisdom is so needed, definitely. And it's so great that you are here to be able to share your wisdom and for the children to be able to integrate that into their everyday lives so we can create that new earth that is filled with this ancient wisdom, as they are, like you said, our future and our future masters as well.
They are. So yeah, that is my goal and my mission, is as soon as I'm able to get classes going and to teach them also ways for them to gather their own energy, which I would teach through the Qigong, meditation, Tai Chi. They're all wonderful healing modalities. The Qigong that we do is a 24 postures. And when you finish the 24 postures, you've moved every joint and massaged every internal organ. And it's also like meditation and sitting in the stillness. It's a wonderful way for us to cleanse our minds, bodies, and souls so that we're working in harmony.
I think we're all joining. We're all going to join that one.
Well, you're all welcome. You're all welcome.
Yes, yes.
Definitely, for sure. Is there any other divine offerings that you want to share, that to let the others know what they can connect with you for? I know you do. You had mentioned that you do parties. Do you still do that for your reading?
I do. A lot of my readings, of course, through COVID have been via telephone. But I have done some parties and I am still doing them. And what I actually did was I go there and when I'm in the space that they've provided for me, I actually smudge, because this is something as well that sage actually kills 99% of the germs. So I'll keep the sage going in the room, and the people that were coming for the reading wore the mask. So I was still practicing some social distancing and protection skills there. but I would actually like to share with you, because I see, and I hear this a lot, and although in my physical form, I'm not Indigenous, believe me, I certainly in past lives for sure.
For sure.
And when we burn the medicines, they say when the cedar crackles in the fire, it's carrying in the smoke, it's taking our prayers to heaven. But to smudge ourselves, we light the medicine, and the first thing we do is wash our hands in it so that we can do good deeds. Then we take the smoke 3 times over our head so that we have good thoughts, and we can also listen to spirit. Our mind is clear. We take it to our eyes 3 times so that we can see what Creator wants us to see. We take it to our ears 3 times so that we can listen not only to Creator, but to Spirit and Mother Earth and hear what we're supposed to hear. We take it to our mouth and throat 3 times so that we may always speak good words. Take it to your heart 3 times so that we can operate with love and clarity. And then I always put my smudge bowl on the floor and I'll circle my feet in it. And this is so that I can walk Creator's path. So I think it's important because I see people just lighting the sage and, you know, waving it around, and it looks very pretty with the smoke. But if the intention isn't there about what we're doing and what we're asking and what we're using the medicines for, then they're just, it's a very lovely smell. Yeah.
Right.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Beautiful pieces of wisdom all the time with you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's true, like if we have crystals, we might as well use the full potential of a crystal, just like the sage. Like, let's not just use it as a burning twig, like let's use it for its full potential, and let's, you know, embody it and integrate it inside of us. So that was beautiful.
Right. And it's kind of talking to your medicines as well. So, you know, like asking the spirit of the sage to remove all negative energies, and asking the sweetgrass. We ask the spirit of the sweetgrass to bring in good things. Okay. We ask, excuse me, for I offer tobacco to Creator in gratitude. So, you know, like along with the honor and respect, it's important for us to show gratitude, to be able to use these gifts, not only as in the medicines, but gifts that Mother Earth give us as well. So it's kind of like, you know, people go and they'll be out walking and maybe by the river, and they'll start to pick up stones, but they don't ask for permission to do that. Okay. And really we should. Okay. These are and the other thing I was taught was that when we ask permission to pick something up, we pick it up with our left hand. So have you ever picked up a feather or a stone and then you decide you don't want it, or it's just not feeling right for you? And I think this is the way that the stone people or Mother Earth is saying to us, no, that needs to stay here. Then I would put it into my right hand and give it back to the earth. Okay. So, you know, some people are, you'll see me walking along the beach and I'll pick something up and I'll hold it, and then I'll put it into my right hand and I give it back. And it's only because it's not feeling right in my hand, and I'm acknowledging, okay, this needs to stay here. So I don't just toss it back on the ground. I try to put it back pretty much where I got it from. It's there for a reason, and it wasn't for me. And we do this in the forest, or as I said, when we walk on the beach or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a great teaching for not only the children, but for everyone, as whenever we go somewhere, the children always want to find something special from the forest, but they do ask permission, but we've never incorporated or integrated the picking up with the left hand. And because sometimes they do ask if it's meant for them to keep it. And if it isn't, they do try to put it back in the same area, but we've never used the left hand, right hand, but we will now. Thank you.
Yeah, so there is. And the other thing is, I'd like to talk, do I have time? Yeah,
of course.
Just a couple of minutes about the difference as I have been taught. And I'm being cautious because I'm not Indigenous, but although I have a lot of teachings, different ones have different teachings. But what I was taught was our spirit animals, mine is the crow and the dolphin, are there with us always, okay, to offer their guidance and their love and their support in so many different ways. And spiritual affirm, like crows always come in to protect me, always, always, always. And as you know, when you blessed us with the attunement for the light language, my light language is that of the dolphin, which was very, very powerful and heart-touching for me. But we could have totem animals, and totem animals come into our lives to teach us a lesson. So it's kind of like if you're out and you keep seeing a beaver, or there's squirrels everywhere, or rabbits. Okay, let's take the rabbit. We see that rabbit and it's just sitting there. The rabbits come as a totem animal, and its message to you right in that moment is to tell you that you're at a standstill. If it hops away, it's telling you you're steady on your journey. If it zooms off, it's telling you to get ready for great growth. Oh. And then it's your job then to find out the teachings of the rabbit. Okay, I use Ted Andrews' Animals Speak. Yes.
That's the one I have.
Yeah, it's like my Bible. So, you know, like I'll get it out, I'll learn, and you can be reading it and you'll stop halfway through. You've already, and I'll go, oh yeah, okay. I've got what the message was that it was teaching me. These are good practices, and it helps us pay attention when we're out in nature. It helps us pay attention. Many, many years ago, a gentleman in British Columbia gifted me with owl medicine. And I asked him, like, okay, like, what is it, owl medicine? And he smiled and he said to me, I'd gone there to learn something from him. And it literally, this is what I talk about, trusting and learning with spirit. Every time I went on my computer, this man's website came up. And I'd go on it and I'd scroll through it. And I don't know, every day I'd look. In the middle of the night, it would come on and haunting music would start to play. And, you know, I'd get up and I'd think, that's websites on my computer again. So in the end, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to reach out to the guy. So I messaged him and I shared with him. I said, your website keeps coming on. I'm scrolling through it. I'm not sure what the message is. I was wondering where you were located and if I could come and meet with you, because I believe that you have to teach me something. And he said to me, well, I'm in Burnaby, BC. I said, yeah, okay, I'll come. So I booked a ticket and I flew to British Columbia, and I went and met with him. And I actually booked 3 days with him, and he taught me many, many, many things. And on the third day, when I knocked on the door, I said to him, I know what you have to teach me. He said, what? And I said to him, owl medicine. And he turned to his wife with the most beautiful smile. And he said to me, well, that's very interesting. He says, come along in. So we sat down and we chatted and we did our meditation. And he said to me, Angela, do you trust me? And I said to him, yes. He said, implicitly? I said, yes. He said to me, so if I asked you to close your eyes while I did something, you could do that? I said, yes. He said, okay. He said, and then I'll share why our smiles were so big. I said, okay. He said to me, put your left hand out and close your eyes. And under no circumstances, he said, open your eyes. I said, yeah, okay. So I sit there, put my hand out, and then all of a sudden my hand would drop to the, like whatever was on my hand was so heavy, it dropped towards the floor. And I still didn't open my eyes. And he said to me, okay, you can open your eyes now. And when I opened my eyes, on my hand was the face of an owl. And he said to me that I had accepted owl medicine. And I said to him, but I don't know what it is. And he said to me, when it's time to use it, Spirit will come and tell you. I said, okay. He says to me, but I will tell you, before your owl medicine is activated, the owl will come to you. It won't be in a picture. The owl will come. I said, okay. And he said, the reason I'm smiling is I met with my elders last night. And one of the elders came to me and gifted me that owl face. And he said to me, soon a white woman will come and she will ask you to teach her owl medicine. This is my gift to you, and we want you to gift it to her. And he said, and you knocked at the door and asked me to teach you owl medicine. I said, I know, and I didn't have no clue that was coming out of my mouth. So that was back in 2012. I still didn't know what owl medicine was. And last summer, 3 times the owl came to me. I was at my sister's, who has a beautiful place out in the country. And 3 nights running, the owl came, gifted me a feather. And at the next sacred circle that I was in, Spirit came in and told me that owl medicine, because what do we think of when we think about the owl, the school teacher, wisdom? This was my gift, was wisdom. And about being able to share it and being confident to share it with our children, and know that that Spirit would guide me with that. So I felt very blessed to do that. So now I have to honor the owl, and I do that by taking the feather and meditating with it, which I did before we came on here, because I wanted to share my wisdom with you. So although I don't profess, as I said, to be Indigenous, I do have many teachings that I honor and respect. And I'm saying that more for if any Indigenous people look and say like, oh, she's off a rocker. I've been taught by many different people from different tribes, so that's okay. I look at it as Spirit just guide me where I need to go to learn what it is that I need to know. And to be sitting in a sacred circle and have that knowledge, that's what owl medicine is. It's wisdom. It's the gift of sharing. And somebody had just said to me, because my spirit name, which is Songbird, was gifted to me many, many years ago. Actually, probably 20 years ago. I was working with a gentleman called Wolf Walker, who's a beautiful soul friend and mentor for me for 20 years. And he asked me, Angela, do you have your spirit name? And I said, no. He says, well, they're going to give it to you. I said, okay. And I was still in that trust mode. And I woke up one morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, and the birds' chatter was phenomenal. And I'm like, I'd been a midnight worker for 20 years, and I'm like, you're kidding me. Birds singing at 4 o'clock in the morning, they just don't. And the second morning, 4 o'clock, birds are singing. So I got up and I went outside, and I realized now that they weren't actually there. It was a vision that they were gifting me. There was hawks, there was crows, there was cardinals, there was blue jays, there was woodpeckers, there was little yellow canaries, there was mourning doves. Every bird you could think of were all flying around and around, singing their song. And I sat there for about 20 minutes, just in awe. Next morning, 4 o'clock. Oh, I was already awake. I was out of bed as soon as they started to sing. And I went outside and I sat and watched it. And I couldn't believe that none of my neighbors were up, like that they couldn't hear this beautiful song. And as I got up to come back inside, Spirit said to me, Angela, you are Songbird. So that was how I was gifted my name. So of course I run down to email my friend Wolf Walker and share it with him. And he said to me, yes, now 4 o'clock, 3 mornings, 4 and 3 is 7. So we have to look at the number 7, which is my life path. The 7 teachings of the snowflake, 7 directions, the 7 colors of the rainbow, and learn all those things in honor of my spirit name, which I did with great joy, as you can imagine. And then last year, 3 years ago, I went up to Haileybury for International Women's Day as a motivational speaker, and the grandmothers were there, and they sang, and they were so gracious. And I asked them, would I be considered a grandmother in your Indigenous teachings? And Grandmother Marilyn said to me, no, not yet. She said, but just ask Creator to bring in the teachers. And when it's time for you to be known as Grandmother Songbird, Spirit will let you know. And I was taking some classes with an Indigenous lady, and she said to me, Angela, I'll take your money and you're welcome to come and sit in class, but I don't think I'm going to teach you anything that you don't know. And I said to her, well, actually, there is something that you're going to teach me. I said to her, and I just follow and listen to Spirit because I want to be recognized as a grandmother. And she turned around with the most beautiful smile on her face. And she said, all I can tell you from my nation, we would consider you a grandmother. She said, so go forth and use the name Grandmother Songbird with honor and respect. And those were words that spoke very dearly to my heart. And now when I sit in Sacred Circle and the younger generation refer to me as Grandmother Songbird, I have to tell you, it brings great joy into my heart. So yeah. So there you go, ladies.
Beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful.
And just so you know, just because in case any questions do come up later when this is aired, the things that I have shared with you, so again, you know, like our medicine pouch, we don't traditionally tell people what we have in our pouches, but before our meeting, I asked for Spirit, for not for permission. Well, yes, I guess for permission. Can I share how I got my name? Can I share about some of the gifts that I've been given? And they actually told me to just go with it and that they would guide me what to share. So I feel that that's what I basically did. I didn't actually know what I was going to share until I started to speak.
Because you trusted.
Yeah, I did.
That's beautiful.
I did.
You did. It was beautiful. Yeah.
Yes.
We had so many wisdom shares today, and I love the name Grandmother Songbird. It just resonates with you, and I could feel that beautiful, powerful grandmother energy in you. And it's so wonderful and honorable to have you connect with us.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I always said when Spirit gifted me the name Songbird, that somebody was very playful up there. And that's another thing to remember, is we don't have to be so serious and, you know, in that blah zone. Spirit like to have fun too, because I said, well, okay, you give me crow, which we all know the caw of a crow, but in actual fact, crow is known as a songbird when nobody's around. I actually have perforated eardrums, so can't hold a tune. And but that's about the singing, right? It doesn't matter what we sound like. It's what our connection to Creator is while we're singing and playing the drum. So there was all lessons in there in that given name. But I said I could just imagine Great Spirit sitting up there having a little chuckle. But she sounds like a foghorn. Let's give her the name Songbird, you know. So, but yeah, but you know what? It's true. I go to circle and I sing my heart out, and I don't worry. I just tell people that to me, I sound like Celine Dion, and if I don't to you, that's your problem.
Love it.
I have to be a free spirit, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and what I actually found is because I'll sing from my heart, it kind of opens up the space because people go, oh my God, if she can sing out like that, nobody's batting an eyelash, we can sing too.
That's
so
right.
It's about freedom, because when we sing, we need to be singing from our soul, you know, read from our heart. Yes.
That's right. Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what they would hear from you, because you're such a beautiful soul from your heart, that's what they're going to hear. They're
That's
not going
right.
to hear your voice. They're going to hear the essence of your voice, and they're just going to integrate it, and they're just going to fall in love with you like everybody else does.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we are so happy for connecting with you here today. And I know that this will not be the last one, because you have so much wisdom. You're such a storyteller, which is so important for people to understand the words, to understand the meanings, because when people just like say it, there's no meaning to it. But when you put a story into it, you could remember it, you could integrate it, you could embrace it, and you could go, it's doable for another person to happen. So there's so much that I've learned from you from last year, and we just really honor and respect you and love having you with us. So I'm sure we will be connecting again here on Zoom.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for inviting me. The honor is all mine, believe me. And I was just happy to follow my heart and allow Spirit to guide me in this experience. Because we all know I'm technically challenged. So the fact that I've actually stayed on Zoom with you the whole while is an accomplishment in itself.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So we will be leaving all of Grandmother Songbird's details in the description below for those of you who are desiring to connect with her further. And we are welcoming all conscious souls and starseeds who are embodying their divine essence and ascension journey to gather with us in our Crystalline Ascension Global Community, which is a private network. And you can find us at crystallineascension.mn.co. Or if you're a Divine Light Illuminator, we welcome you to email us at info@crystallineascension.com to book a light sharing such as this, to chat with Eva and I, to share your divine light and essence with humanity. We, for now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.